Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at a reference from Breitling of Solothurn. If you are burned out on Rolex Submariners, burned out on Omega Seamasters, I've got just the antidote. Think 2 years, 1957 and 2011, because that's what brings us to this model right here, the Breitling Superocean chronometer, 44 millimeters. Now, 1957, that was the start of the famous Breitling Superocean legacy. The 50s were the heyday of the dive watch. Almost all the major references, from the Blancpain 50 Fathoms to the Omega Seamaster Professional, the Rolex Submariner, and yes, the Breitling Superocean, grew out of this era. It was a time when pioneering developments in amphibious combat forces in the military and the explosion of amateur recreational diving on the U.S. domestic market gave rise to a sort of flowering of rugged tool watches that were suitable for use on combat or civilian beats. And in a lot of ways, they continue to set the tone for the design of luxury sports watches to this day. It was a seminal moment for sports watches, and here at WatchYouWant.com, that is our specialty. So you could say that somewhere in there is the genesis of this dream we're living now. But this watch in particular debuted in 2011. Now, this is the most recent reference of the Breitling Superocean Chronograph 44. This watch is exceptional because it combines a unique 18-karat rose gold bezel with 18-karat rose gold hands and stainless steel, all polished. This is a high-impact watch, and it's also a phenomenal value, and I'm going to kind of break down each one in turn. Now, the Breitling Superocean's always been a little bit different than the Rolex Submariner, in that Breitling is less conservative about its design. It's more inclined to experiment with modern case sizes. It's more inclined to experiment with new bracelet designs. And what you've got here is the diagonal cut of what's known as the Professional 2. So this one right here is actually the latest reference, and this diagonal cut is a little bit more elegant, a little bit more striking, a little bit more edgy than the horizontal cuts of the 3 links that you see on the Rolex Oyster. That's just Breitling being just a bit more adventurous than the conservative set in Geneva. Now, based out of Solothurn in Neuchâtel, Breitling has a way of doing things, shall we say, uniquely. Every watch that they build is a certified chronometer, and this Superocean is no exception. Powered by a rugged Breitling caliber 17, the inside of this watch is as tough as the outside. COSC certified, as always. This is an exceptionally accurate Swiss chronometer, but they go deeper than that. Rolex will give you a chronometer on the sub, but will they give you 2,000 meter water resistance and a helium release valve? The question isn't whether you need it. The question is, do you want it? Because that is the definition of luxury. Getting more than you need and getting more than you expect. Those surprise and delight features, those conversation pieces, conversation starters when you're just kicking it with other fans of unique watches, it's a lot of fun. And having that excess water resistance does pay dividends. These watches need to be serviced periodically. When you strike the water, falling off your jet ski or your Boston Whaler or jumping off the high dive, that's not the static water resistance that your watch is rated against in the factory. You may say, oh, well, my watch is water resistant to 100 meters. But the hydrostatic pressure and the hydraulic shock are two different things. Having way more water resistance than you'll ever humanly practically need unless you jump out of a submarine is the way to ensure that you've got the most rugged sports watch that's up to the task if you are. Again, if this thing drops dead, chances are your arm's severed, so you got bigger problems. This is the Breitling Superocean 44, which means that it's got a bigger, bolder case than you're going to find on any Submariner. And because it's all high polish, it's got a huge visual signature. Now I'm going to show you this watch, 44 millimeters as it is, on my wrist. Now my wrist, as you may know if you're serial viewers of these videos, is 6 1/3 inches. That's roughly 16 centimeters for SI friends, System International metric, and it fits very comfortably. The combination of the Professional 2 bracelet and the 44 millimeter case with a relatively flat back and short tapered lugs does a good job of wearing. Big, yes, but not overwhelming. I can tell that this is a large watch in the modern style. If you're into that large modern watch, you're looking for something that's a little less common than a Rolex, but maybe a bit more refined than a Panerai in appearance, this two-tone rose gold and stainless steel high polish Superocean chronograph 44 is a good solution. Not only that, this watch is conservative enough that you know the style is going to stand the test of time. Legible, usable, fun, and practical. Again, with that unidirectional rotating dive bezel, you've got yourself what's effectively the world's lowest maintenance 60-minute chronograph. Set the index at 60 to the minute, and you can time anything you want. Fish tacos on the barbecue, the kids' time out, intervals between business meetings. Just set it and forget it. Watch the elapsed time. There's a lot of practicality to this watch, and again, because it's a little bit out there in terms of the two-tone look, the bigger, high bling look, but it's not such a departure from the traditional tool watch that you have to wonder what the value and appeal of this watch will be in 10 years. This is an enduring icon, and just as the Seamaster endures through the years with Omega and the Sub endures through the years with Rolex, the Superocean is Breitling's go-to perennial standby in the dive sector. So you're looking at a model line that's going to be supported forever, and an essential design that remains that classical template: automatic winding, screw-down crown, big stainless, high legibility, unidirectional bezel that was originally cast in the 1950s. Both contemporary and deferential to tradition, this Breitling Superocean 44mm chronometer, available from watchyouwant.com, is available with a beautiful Breitling boxed set and hang tag. Outstanding condition. We still have the bezel protector on this one when I'm not handling it for the videos. It presents as new. So if you're looking to escape the terror of the Omega and Rolex Submariner, Seamaster, S&S twin terror, try the Breitling Superocean 44. This is a little bit off the beaten path, but still, it's instantly recognizable as the face of a classic diving tool watch. This is an outstanding reference, wears beautifully. If you're into diving, but you want to try something with just a little bit more character, a little bit more flair, this Breitling Superocean 44 just might be the watch you want.